Dan Covington, President of Truck System Technologies, and we're here today with Natalie taking delivery of one of our new tire pressure monitoring systems installed on this Freightliner Cascadia tractor. We're going to go through some of the benefits and strong points of having a tire pressure monitoring system on board a tractor, and we're just going to kind of go through the system, and I'll just kind of orient you a little bit with it, and then please feel free to ask questions as they arise. This is our 507 SCE tire pressure monitoring system. It'll monitor up to 34 independent tires. It'll monitor on a per axle basis, so as many drivers run different PSIs in their steer axles versus their drive axles, or even at times there's variances within the PSIs in the trailer themselves, you have the ability to set your own alert parameters based on your own air pressures that you run within your truck. The system also not only reports tire temperature, but it also reports PSI in real time. So the system literally will rotate as you can kind of see it doing. It'll go from tire to tire to tire, reporting both PSI and temperature. It's just continuously monitoring your tires.
Alright, now what happens if there is a problem with one of the tires on there, on the monitor? How does it notify me that the PSI is low or the temperature is not right? You know, because I'm going to be driving and it might be difficult for me to just look at it, each tire, and see that it is not in the correct range.
Well, that's a very good question, Natalie. The system's going to notify you in a few different ways. First of all, if you have a tire that has dropped below its required PSI, you're going to hear a loud audible alarm. You're also going to see red LED lighting appear on the display itself, and also you're going to see an icon at the bottom of the screen indicating whether you've got a rapid air loss event. Say, for example, you hit a piece of road debris, a ladder, or some other hard debris in the roadway that causes a rapid deflation event. You'll have a very specific icon that'll demonstrate that you've got a rapid air loss. If you've picked up a nail or something like that, and you have a gradual deflation event, you will also get the same notifications. You'll get audible alarms, red LED lighting will go on and off, and you'll have an icon on the bottom of the screen indicating a gradual air loss as well. The system comes pre-programmed to alarm at 158 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you've got, typically your tires are going to run about 20% above whatever the outside temperature is. So at 158 degrees, you're safely above a normal operating condition, however comfortably below a danger threshold. Most tires are typically going to fail between 180 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So at 158 degrees, if you get a notification, you should be notified in plenty of time to pull over and deal with the situation before you have a hazard.
Now, if the battery in the rig dies, do I have to reprogram it each time something like that were to happen?
The system is designed to store and save the sensor ID codes. So once they are input and once you've set your high and low parameter settings into the monitor, it will save them indefinitely. So there should never ever be a need to reprogram the system, whether even if you turn it off, if there's no power to the truck. Under no circumstances will the monitor require reprogramming.
As far as maintenance of this system, how long do the sensors usually last before they are needed to be replaced?
Well, our typical lifespan, based upon a 90,000 mile year, is 5 years for the sensors. The sensors are battery powered, and when the sensors do finally expire, they're not a throwaway item. They can be returned to our facility, and for a nominal charge, we will replace the battery, we'll replace the shell, we'll clean the unit, we'll replace the gasket, and tender to you a like-new sensor ready for 5 more years of service.
Now, when I take my truck in to get serviced, what precautions do I need to take with the sensors on the tires?
Well, the main precaution that you'll need to take into consideration when you bring your rig in for service, particularly if it's for tire rotation or some type of tire-related maintenance, is that the sensor is programmed location specific. So the sensor that is coded into the front left steer tire position needs to remain in that position. It doesn't have to follow the tire, but the sensor is location specific. So when you rotate your tire, as long as the sensor goes back into that same position that it was set to and programmed to originally, you you have no issues whatsoever. And then each sensor code is actually laser etched into the exterior shell of the sensor itself. So you can effectively keep a log, if you will, of your sensor positions, and you can cross-reference them after having your tires serviced, rotated, what have you, just to ensure that each sensor is in the correct position and you're road ready.
How hard is the TPMS to install and program on this vehicle?
Well, typically the average installation time on our tire pressure monitoring system is about 15 to 20 minutes. The sensors basically screw onto the end of the valve stems, and the longest, most labor-intensive component of the entire installation is actually hardwiring the display onto the dashboard of the truck. And even that in and of itself is a pretty direct and straightforward process. It literally splices into any 12-volt power supply. Most commonly, our customer base installs it or wires it right into the ignition wiring, so as soon as the key hits the ignition, then the truck has power, the system is on. And programming is very easy. It's a point and click kind of installation. You screw the sensors onto the valve stem, you hit a button, and usually if you have a team of 2 individuals working together, the installation time should never exceed 20 minutes.
What kind of warranty comes with this system?
Well, the warranty is, we offer a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. We cover any manufacturer defects, any system malfunction whatsoever. We replace any defective parts for a 12-month period of time.
Now, with these sensors and this technology, would it be considered green technology, and what kind of money would it save me?
Well, that's a very good question. Yes, it absolutely is green technology. By keeping the tires properly inflated, you're minimizing drag, which is minimizing fuel consumption. Based on a 90,000 mile work year, we have determined that just through proper tire inflation alone, a driver can save up to 3 gallons of fuel per week. And with diesel at today's prices of around $4 per gallon, we've determined that this system can save a driver up to $600 to $700 a year just in fuel savings alone, let alone the cost of a road assist call where a trucker's on the side of the road with a blown out tire, which can cost anywhere from $700 to $1,500. So it's definitely going to minimize the environmental footprint. It's going to reduce fuel consumption, and it's going to prevent many costly road assist calls.
Now, it sounds like this system can also benefit the drivers around us.
It absolutely can. I'm sure we've all traveled down many freeways where we've seen tire treads on the side of the road. We had actually an RV customer that came to us and purchased our system for their RV a few weeks back, where they were actually driving in their car and actually had a tire tread from a semi basically hit their windshield. It scared them to death, cracked it. And we've actually got some fleet clients that are using our system that are actually seeing a reduction offered by their insurance companies just simply for installing the system on their trucks. And there are additional benefits as well, as all professional drivers are aware. As you go through these various check stations, one of the questions that drivers are continuously asked by enforcement authorities is, when was the last time you checked the PSI in your tires? And these authorities are always impressed to come into the cab and see at the touch of a button how quickly and easily it is to maintain tire PSI, and to be able to answer to them, well, I just checked it within the last 30 seconds. Thank you, Natalie, for working with us today, and thank you for watching and enjoying our video. A couple of points that we feel are noteworthy are that Deborah Hersman, chairwoman of the NTSB, did an over-the-road stint with a UPS driver last year in 2011. In September of 2011, she gave an interview to Road King magazine, and she was highlighting some of the various lane departure systems and radar and so forth. And when asked specifically, she mentioned the tire pressure monitoring system as a necessary technology for commercial trucking. Although this technology is currently available and required on passenger cars and light trucks, she felt that this technology was most applicable to the commercial transport industry. So we will be seeing a likely mandate within the foreseeable future requiring commercial trucks to have this technology on board. Thank you very much for your time and attention today.